Hello everyone, Storm here, and today I am continuing What If Dale Survived? In this video, we'll be finishing off Season 10 of The Walking Dead show, so if you're not caught up on the series, get caught up now using the link in the description and comments section, as there are 9 parts before this one. But now with that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. So to start the second half of Season 10, Episode 9 sees some slight changes. Gareth would be in charge of patrols around the camp and would also overhear Negan telling Alpha about how Delta might be leaking information. And Delta is Mary, by the way, because Gareth became Gamma first. Alpha then decides to send Beta and Gareth to find Delta after not seeing her where she was supposed to be. Once they've captured Delta, Dale isn't going to be cool with killing her if she doesn't convince them of the truth. And when Gabriel starts telling them about pulling teeth and cutting fingers from any whispers they find, Dale and Carl are both on a heavy no for that. They eventually just move on as it isn't really that important and leave in their groups. When Beta begins rampaging in Alexandria, he would enter Michonne's house. Here, Carl and Judith would save Mary or Delta and protect her. Carl at first asks Judith for the gun, but would then realize that it was the best way for her to defend herself. He then pulls out a knife and readies himself to defend his brother and sister. Judith shoots at Beta through the door, and Carl would tell her, RJ, and Mary to get out of there. Mary would then be grabbed by Beta, and Carl would attempt to free her, but Beta would fight back. We then get a pretty epic battle between Beta and Carl instead of Rosita, but Beta would win, and Rosita would step in afterward. So now Mary would leave with Beta in order to stop him. Later, the two would be surrounded and Beta would flee. Moving on to episode 11, which is a masterpiece by the way, the only real change is that Ken is among the ranks preparing for the battle against the Horde. Ken would be with his father Earl trying to get the kids out of there. Ken would then come to find that his father Earl had been bitten. The two have a sad moment together, and Ken would volunteer to put him down, to which his father would refuse. But eventually Ken would convince him to let him, and his last words would be telling his son to take care of the baby they saved, Adam, and that he loves him. Judith would then approach Ken and comfort him. Episode 12 goes the exact same, with Negan killing Alpha and giving her head to Carol. Episode 13 would have Michonne call Judith and RJ via walkie-talkie. Judith convinces her to go find Rick using the clues she had just found, and Michonne tells her to tell Carl about this and let him talk to her when they get the chance. Now that Alpha is dead, Beta would start leading the Whisperers himself. He first tries to make one of them get bitten by Alpha's walker, but Gareth would tell him to stop. Now that the leader is dead and fourth in command is with the enemy, they need to focus up. They can't be killing each other like this. Beta would turn around and tell Gareth not to challenge him and that he knows what he's doing, but Gareth isn't really that scared. He tells Beta that he's the Beta, and he is Gamma. They were given these names so that they could lead if Alpha dies, and now she's dead. The two have to work together as the last of Alpha's chosen ones. Beta gets frustrated and lets the guy go, glaring at Gareth as he walks off. He then goes back to his old setup from before the walkers attacked, and that would play out the same as it did in the original episode. So would Negan being found by Daryl, and Carol dealing with her hallucinations of Alpha. Gareth would be at the Whisperers camp trying to rally them in order to keep themselves alive. He doesn't want to risk going to war, as it would be incredibly difficult for them to win. Plus, there's been great losses on both sides. They got bloodshed, and now it's time to move on and survive. Build up their ranks so that they can be a more formidable force in the future. It seems like most of the Whisperers like this idea, as it keeps more of them alive. Plus, Gareth is a high rank in their group, so following him would be wise. Gareth is aware of Beta's stubbornness and isn't quite sure how to combat it just yet. He tells the group that, if it comes down to it, they may have to fight him. Beta has walked his own path and shown willingness to kill his own people. He's driven only by what Alpha wanted, which is revenge. But if they want any hope of survival, they have to leave that behind. Leave him behind. They can honor Alpha by keeping the Whisperers alive and spreading their ideology. The Whisperers seem to agree with this, but are also terrified of challenging Beta, and Gareth can tell. He ends the night off, and some Whisperers go out to keep their territory secure. This leads to them finding Negan and him becoming the new Alpha. There would be a difference though, as Gareth would have Alpha's shotgun. So instead, Negan just asks the Whisperers why he isn't armed if he's the Alpha, and they give him a knife. He then throws it at one of their heads, and Daryl helps kill the rest. The two head back and retreat with everyone else to Oceanside. Beta arrives at the Whisperer camp, and no one speaks a word of what Gareth had said that night. Beta gears them up for an assault on Hilltop, but finds that they're all gone. However, Aaron and Alden were hiding in the tower to see what the Whisperers were doing. In the original episode, Beta was very close to seeing Alden, so here, because Gareth is here, he would see him. Alden would then hide immediately and look back, seeing Gareth staring at him. Aaron and Alden think they're doomed, but Gareth puts his finger over his mouth and shakes his head. Beta prepares to leave with the herd, but Gareth stays behind the crowd. He has a handful of Whisperers who believed in what he said about Beta, and they weren't scared to follow Gareth. They hang back in the forest and intercept Aaron and Alden as they try to leave. The two men get ready for a fight, but Gareth says that he doesn't want that. He knows that he and the other Whisperers with him have done horrible things. They've killed Aaron and Alden's people, but now they see how great a toll this war has taken on them. They've all lost so many of their own, but now they have a common goal, ending the war. And the fastest way to do this is by killing Beta. Gareth can help do this, but in return, he wants no more war after this. The remaining Whisperers will move away from their land and will try not to cross paths with them again. Aaron reluctantly agrees to this deal and radios to the group at Oceanside the terms. Aaron would briefly inform them and then would hand the radio to Gareth, saying that it's for him. He would take it and say hello and would hear a familiar voice. Dale responds by saying his name. Gareth would be shocked, and Dale tells him that he always knew he could do good in the world. Gareth begins to apologize for all he's done, killing Dale's people, to which Aaron says that one of them was Dale's wife, Jessie. Gareth once again apologizes to Dale, and the old man accepts his apology, although it is a little bit reluctant. He tells him that he should probably get going, as they've got a war to end. After that, they can deal with whatever else. Gareth smiles and tells his band of Whisperers to roll out. Aaron and Alden then leave on their own. Beta and his army of Whisperers and Walkers push forward to Oceanside and attempt to take over. Because Aaron and Alden lag so far behind, they never get jumped by a group of Whisperers. Instead, they show up and save Maggie and Elijah from them. The four then get inside and help everyone as Gareth and his group arrive. They stay toward the back of the herd so that they aren't killed by our group. When Daryl and the others begin killing Beta's forces, Gareth and his squad head toward the front. They charge in and an epic civil war between Beta and Gareth's Whisperers would happen, while Gareth storms forward to Beta himself. Negan distracts him like he does in the original, and Gareth yells out for Beta. He pulls out Alpha's shotgun and blasts him with the last bullet. Beta tanks it with some damage and tries charging toward Gareth, but Daryl comes in from behind. He uses his knife to slice Beta's sides and then stab him in the eyes like he did in the show. Negan, Gareth, and Daryl head back inside with the rest of their respective groups as Beta is eaten by the Walkers. Here, Gareth reunites with Dale and apologizes to Sam for all the pain he's caused. But once the herd clears, Gareth takes the surviving Whisperers and bids the group farewell. He then heads off, planning on never interacting with our group again. The stuff with Lydia and Carol also plays out the same way, and I haven't mentioned it, but Eugene's trek to the Commonwealth still happens the same as well. In the next episode, Dale decides to join Maggie, Daryl, and Kelly to help find Maggie's people. During that time, he would try to talk to her about coming around on the Negan situation, but she obviously doesn't want to hear it. When the group splits up, Dale would join Daryl and Maggie, so we'd have the OGs going together. Dale notes that he's low on ammo for his rifle, but he'll try to cover them as best he can. So Maggie tries to flank the guy who's attacking, and Dale would then shoot him in his shoulder. After that, Daryl shoots an arrow at him, and he's basically forced to stop. But the guy does still blow himself up, which would hinder Dale's hearing, as he didn't have the reflexes to avoid the explosion fully. He would lose some hearing in one of his ears, but thankfully it wasn't too much to deal with. Plus, Kelly was there, and she told him that she would teach him sign if he ever started to lose more hearing. Once they find Maggie's son Herschel, it would be nice to have Dale interact with the boy, and then they would decide to all head back to Alexandria. Nothing much changes for the next few episodes, so let's go ahead and skip up to episode 19. Most of this still goes the same with Aaron and Gabriel searching for supplies. They are discovered by a man named Maze, who forces them to play Russian roulette. In the original episode, they seem to have broken through to Maze and turned him good, if you will, but right after, Gabriel kills him because he doesn't want to take any chances. However, this time, I could see Gabriel fully sparing him. Dale's influence has played a key part in this, as he is always trying to keep the group from losing their humanity. After Gabriel killed Dante, Dale talked with him about it and made him realize that it wasn't the right way to do things. Plus, they won the war with the help of Gareth, who has been a bad guy twice now. So this just shows that trusting people is the right call. They've teamed up with the saviors, cannibals, and people who wear the skins of dead people. So a guy who killed his brother's family a long time ago isn't really that far gone. And it would be even less bad when they find out that his brother is still alive, but he does still shoot himself, so that's pretty sad as well. But anyway, Maze goes with the four, and they then continue on their journey. Other than that, the last few episodes really wouldn't change. I mean, one is about Carol and Daryl doing their own thing, one's about Princess at the Commonwealth, and one's about Negan's past, so Dale and the others can't really make too many changes to that. And so, that concludes the series of What If Dale Survived. At least, for now. I'll get back to the series once Season 11 has come to a close. The story is not over. Just think of it as the rest of the series being in production, like how Season 11 was. And the reason I'm not just instantly covering what we have of Season 11 is because I don't want to write something and then have to change it because of something revealed later. It's just a better idea if I just wait until it's all complete and then come back. I'll still make other videos on The Walking Dead show too, so don't worry about that either. In fact, if you've stuck around this long, I'll reward you by telling you that my next Walking Dead TV show What If will be What If Shane Killed Rick, which I know is a very highly requested one. But yeah guys, that's it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series, and I hope you're looking forward to the end of Season 11 and the end of this series as well once that finishes. But as always, tell me if you liked this part, tell me what you think will happen next, comment your requests for future videos, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, have a great day.